Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Last night's Alamo Ranch neighborhood safety meeting held by Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar had parents from NISD asking a lot of questions. Coming up, we'll hear what the sheriff had to say about the latest crime in surrounding schools.
And the latest with the social media app TikTok, as the CEO was questioned by members of Congress.
And outside with live cam, it's Friday morning. We continue to be very muggy, very cloudy. We kind of want Mother Nature to commit to something, either rain or clear us out and give us some great weather. We'll find out what's going to happen with our weekend coming up. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, the 24th.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a great week. Well, it definitely feels like we're expecting rain today.
That's right. Let's get a forecast from Justin. We have a bunch of folks off today, so Justin's in for Mike, RJ's in for Steven, and let's begin with what looks like a pretty active weather pattern over the Lone Star State.
We would hope that we would get some rain out of this. It looks promising, but I'm thinking that we're not going to get much. That's the unfortunate part about this, because I think we're going to get scraped by some of this activity that you're seeing here. There is a frontal boundary just to our west. There is severe weather just to our north and west, but this moves east and we'll be on the tail end of things. Maybe a couple showers around noontime. Here's the good news, though. We get some clearing this afternoon, some dry air, and that leads into a beautiful weekend, which that is a great thing. As we look at the live radar right now, we do have some showers and storms that we can see, again, off to our north and west up towards Junction, but nothing in our immediate viewing area. And this stuff is still about 130 miles away. So we've got some time to watch it. But again, I think by the time it makes it to San Antonio, it's limping in here, and we're just talking about a few showers, probably around midday. Right now it is cloudy. It is still humid. We're at 71 degrees. Dew point is at 66. Southerly winds at 10. In the forecast for today, we'll keep it cloudy through the morning hours. And then once a few showers trying to make their way through about midday, that front comes through. Then we clear out and the sun's out. It's going to be a warm afternoon, up around 87, but tomorrow morning will feel great. Saturday will be beautiful. Sunday, for the most part, pretty nice too. We'll take a look at the weekend forecast and the extended forecast coming up in just a bit.
Thank you very much, Justin. Shootings over THC vape pens. That's the latest problem the Bexar County Sheriff is seeing in local schools. It's something he addressed at last night's neighborhood meeting for the Alamo Ranch area. Majority of the parents in attendance were from Northside Independent School District. Many concerned about what their kids are being exposed to while in class. The parents expressed that students are fighting and using THC vape pens on campus at an alarming rate. Sheriff Salazar says it's increasing violence in the area too.
You've seen it time and time again. They're willing to kill each other over these things, okay? At least with regard to the two cases that we've handled.
Sheriff also said in a 15-month period, the Alamo Ranch area has had 407 car burglaries, 173 car thefts. He believes these crimes are also leading to guns ending up on campus due to guns being left in cars. He hopes the new school safety task force for NISD and Southwest ISD will slow the crime.
An 11-year-old student in the Northside Independent School District is now in custody for bringing a gun to school. This happened at Callison Elementary. According to a district spokesperson on Wednesday, we are told that the student turned himself in to a counselor. According to the district, the gun was unloaded and it was shown to one student on campus. Administrators believe at least 3 other students knew about the gun. Parents were contacted by phone and a letter was also sent out.
A woman who used her husband's wartime injuries to falsely claim he was paralyzed was sentenced to nearly 4 years in federal prison by a judge here in San Antonio. Josephine Perez Gorda was convicted last fall of submitting false paperwork to get hundreds of thousands of dollars in Veterans Affairs benefits and Social Security payments. This was all while she and her husband put forth a narrative that his 2011 injuries from serving in Afghanistan in the Army left him unable to use his lower extremities. Federal investigators gathered undercover footage you're seeing right here of him walking just fine. He faced his own slew of charges but died in federal custody early last year while awaiting trial.
Anything you want to say on your way in?
Dylan, you know I don't want to talk to you.
The couple was gifted this custom-built, specially adapted house in Dripping Springs near Austin. The executive director of Homes for Our Troops tells KSAT the charity plans to repossess the property. Pending an appeal in the case, Perez Gorda must report to prison by June 5th.
3 teenagers have been arrested for assaulting an 80-year-old man and then stealing his truck. This is a story that we first told you about last month. Now, it happened on February 11th in a North Side neighborhood near Walker Ranch and Stonewood Drive. Police say the male suspects are between the ages of 15 and 16, and they are facing aggravated robbery charges. Their names have not been released due to their ages.
On Capitol Hill, the CEO of the social media app TikTok faced tough questions from members of Congress. The CEO spent hours trying to convince them the app is committed to protecting Americans' privacy.
Millions of U.S. TikTok users are on edge amid bipartisan support to ban the app. ABC's Justin Finch has more.
House Republicans and Democrats united in their skepticism of TikTok, which counts more than 150 million U.S. users.
TikTok collects nearly every data point imaginable, and the Chinese Communist Party is able to use this as a tool to manipulate America as a whole.
TikTok needs to be an American company with American values and end its ties to the Chinese Communist Party.
TikTok CEO Xiao Chu facing more than 5 hours of questioning Thursday. Chu insisting the app is working to protect American users by firewalling off their data from unwanted foreign influence.
It is our commitment to this committee and all our users that we will keep this free from any manipulation by any government.
Chu says TikTok's firewall will launch sometime later this year and that it plans to store Americans' data on U.S. soil.
I have seen no evidence that the Chinese government has access to that data. They have never asked us. We have not provided.
I find that actually preposterous.
A TikTok spokesperson says its CEO, Xiao, came prepared to answer questions from Congress, but unfortunately, the day was dominated by political grandstanding. The Biden administration has called for TikTok's Chinese parent company to sell its U.S. operations or face a possible ban, which Beijing opposes. Across the country, growing concerns about TikTok users' security.
I uninstalled it, actually, because I don't know, I just don't want them to collect data.
I think while those concerns are valid, and I myself have had them, I think to hear what TikTok is doing is giving me reassurance.
And TikTok CEO also saying concerns raised about the app are not unique to its platform, despite bipartisan support for a Senate bill that would call for the regulation or even outright banning of foreign-made technology that could compromise national security. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Starting next year, minors who want to join social media in the state of Utah will need their parents' consent. Utah's Governor Spencer Cox signed the bill yesterday regarding a guardian's consent for a minor to join social media. Under the bill, the online platforms have to conduct age verification for all Utah residents and give parents access to their teens' accounts. If the parents don't give their child permission, they can have their accounts put on hold until they turn 18. The new law also bans all advertisements for minors and will go into effect March 1st, 2024 there in Utah.
Los Angeles school workers have ended a massive 3-day strike with a rally in Chinatown. The Service Employees International's union member began picketing Tuesday, demanding increased wages and better work conditions. Since then, the district upped its offer to a 23% overall increase along with a 3% cash bonus. The 3-day walkout impacted childcare for more than 400,000 families. The union says workers plan to return to school on Friday.
438, 71 degrees.
And time to check your pantry and maybe even your medicine cabinet. We're going to talk about a popular ingredient, red dye number 3. Coming up, why it's banned from makeup, but not our food.
San Antonio's public library director has some big news. Next, what the president has appointed him to oversee.
Take a look at the roads with TransGuide, looking over at I-35 at Nogalitos, where things are moving so far this Friday morning. We'll be checking in with RJ Marquez in the next half hour.
Outside with Lycan, pretty typical spring day here in South Central Texas as we take a live look at the shining lights of San Antonio International Airport there across Loop 410. Lots of clouds in place, ton of humidity. Any changes this weekend? We'll talk to Justin straight ahead. Welcome back. President Biden announced he's appointing San Antonio's public library director to the National Museum and Library Services Board. Ramiro Salazar will join 20 other presidential nominees. The group will help advance America's museums and libraries through research and grant making.
I will be representing libraries throughout the country, serving on this national board of museum and library services. And to be nominated by the president and to be appointed by the president, I mean, that's a huge honor.
Salazar has served as San Antonio Public Library Director since April of 2005. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats. Time now, 4:42 and 71 degrees for now. A popular red dye that's in most of our food and medicine has some parents making sure their child eats foods without it. Coming up next, what you need to know about red dye number 3.
In this morning's GMA First Look, new details on the all-inclusive 3-year passenger cruise around the world.
I have never been on a cruise before, and when this opportunity came up, I grabbed it.
375 destinations with stops in 135 countries across all 7 continents. The Life at Sea ship setting sail from Istanbul November, picking up passengers in Barcelona and Miami. The ship can hold just over 1,000 passengers, more than half the cabins already booked since the itinerary was announced earlier this month.
I think people's work schedules have become a little bit more flexible. We have seen more of an interest in people wanting to try to work from ships.
And we'll have much more on this game changer on the high seas coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Victor Okendo, ABC News, Miami.
From candies, drinks, even medicines, red dye number 3 is what gives some of them their pretty color, but it's the same ingredient that's been banned from cosmetics for years.
12 on your sides, Marilyn Morris explains the health concerns and why there's a big effort to also get it out of food.
Mommy, could I have a snack, please?
Elena Ramsden tries to give her children foods that don't have additives and artificial food dyes.
I'm concerned about the long-term effects neurologically and developmentally, so I just try to avoid them if I can.
Appearances can be deceiving, especially when it comes to food coloring and flavoring.
Red number 3 dye, also known as erythrocin, is a synthetic dye derived from petroleum, and it's used in food and drinks to give them a kind of bright cherry red color.
Decades ago, the Food and Drug Administration banned red number 3 dye from all cosmetics after studies showed it caused cancer in lab animals. But the dye is still in thousands of varieties of candies, gummies, cakes, beverages, and even medicines.
So how is it possible that this coloring is banned in makeup, but not from the candy that many of our children could be eating?
Consumer Reports and some 20 other groups are petitioning to ask the FDA to prohibit the use of red number 3 dye in foods, dietary supplements, and ingested drugs. Besides the potential cancer risk, some studies raise concerns that artificial food dyes, including red 3, contribute to children's neurobehavioral problems, such as hyperactivity. The International Association of Color Manufacturers says there's not enough evidence associating the dye with behavioral problems and maintains it is safe at the levels most people consume. If you're concerned, read the ingredients. Manufacturers do have to list red number 3 dye right there on the label. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's look out there with TransGuide looking over at I-35 at Rittiman. Things are moving there, and also at I-35 at Nogalitos, and it appears that we don't have any accidents right now.
All travel times look great, but that's normal, and we're looking for a normal commute because last couple of weeks we've had problems,
yes,
even during the low spots during spring break.
Yeah, and this week has been a big one.
Yeah, I feel like drizzle kind of played into that the whole slick road.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. So you said the chance of showers and storms here is actually low.
It is. We were hoping for something much, much better than this, but as it always is, it feels like we're getting the tail end of things and we're just going to get scraped by a few showers. The payoff here, though, is that we will get some great weather coming up this afternoon and into the weekend. So here's the live radar right now. We see the showers and storms off to the north and west. You got to go up to basically Junction or the San Angelo area before you find any real thunderstorm activity. And these aren't severe. Now, as you go north into, say, Dallas, Fort Worth, that's where you could start to find some severe weather. But we're just not seeing it here. There's a couple of showers in far northwestern parts of Edwards County. And again, this line kind of limps into San Antonio later today. I can't rule out a shower, but we're not going to get much out of this. That's just the bottom line. Let me show you the forecast here. So by 10 o'clock, a few showers. This is showing maybe a shower or two in Kendall County, some cloud cover. And by 11 o'clock, this is already starting to move east, maybe a shower. I think this is probably the time frame where we could see a shower in San Antonio, but skies are already starting to clear. And then by midday, noontime, 1 o'clock, sun is out. We've got drier air pouring in, and it will make for a nice but a warm afternoon. I think we probably get into the upper 80s despite this frontal boundary moving through because it draws in the drier air. But a really nice evening is on tap for us today. 71 right now. Dew point is at 66, so it's still humid out there with southerly winds at about 10 miles per hour. And temperatures in the 70s area-wide, with a few exceptions being Kerrville and Rock Springs, but low 70s, so it's muggy, it's warm. Carrizo Springs at 73, Pleasanton at 71. Here in San Antonio, we're right around 70 or so. Dew point trend over the next 3 days. Yeah, it's humid now, but the dew points fall off in a big way by this afternoon. So we got dew points in the 30s and 20s this afternoon through, I'd say, about Sunday morning. Then by Sunday afternoon, the humidity starts to pour back in. That means some cloud cover comes back into play on Sunday as well. Here's a look at the Futurecast winds later today. We got to pass this along too, because once that front passes by, we'll get some pretty stout westerly winds. We could see some gusts 20 to 25, maybe a little bit stronger up in the hill country where we could see some gusts close to 30 miles per hour. Normally we'd have some fire concerns here, but we have seen a little bit of rain as of late, so that helps. And that's good news there. KSAT 12-hour forecast here in San Antonio. We keep it cloudy through 8 o'clock. And then the sun begins to pop out 10, 11 o'clock, and then it's sunny from there on out. 87 the forecast high today with westerly winds anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. As we said, they could be a little bit gusty. Here's the big picture, and I mentioned some of these severe weather up across parts of the Metroplex. There is a severe thunderstorm watch up there with this line of storms. And this line will progress east today as that dry air punches in from the west. But as these storms move into the southeastern portion of the country, a lot of severe weather today. It's going to be a very busy day for places like Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi. That's where they're going to get hit very hard by some severe weather, I think, later today. Our forecast, 83 tomorrow and sunny, low humidity. Notice the morning lows are in the 50s. 83 Sunday, 77 on Monday. We're going to watch for a frontal boundary that comes in, and that will kick up some small rain chances and will also cool us down some, probably in the 70s much of next week. And there is that small rain chance each and every day. As we get a little bit closer, maybe there could be one day that kind of sticks out, but at the moment, just a small chance through much of next week.
But the weekend looks nice.
The weekend will be very nice. The mornings will be fantastic, especially tomorrow morning, crisp and cool, clear. Very nice.
We'll take it.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you, Justin. 452, 71 degrees.
Coming up next, the latest talks around new movies in Hollywood, plus new shows on Netflix.
Take a look at all your lottery numbers this morning. Pick 3070 Fireball 1. Daily 4 numbers 7215 Fireball 6.
Cash 5, 9, 16, 19, 28, 31. And your Texas two-step 14, 15, 26, 34. And bonus ball 2.
If you win, the table will honor its word.
John Wick Chapter 4 officially opens today. Keanu Reeves is back as the master assassin, taking on the mysterious High Table. Pundits say it could open with a franchise record $70 million.
I want my life back. I want my child back.
Florence Pugh and Morgan Freeman star in the drama A Good Person, Zach Braff's third big screen directorial effort.
I know I can find him.
And Sally Hawkins stars in The Lost King, based on the true story of the successful search for King Richard III's remains.
Man, look around. We got everything we need right here.
The Netflix teen drama Outer Banks tops the most recent Nielsen streaming top 10. That's counting not only views of season 3, which dropped 3 weeks ago, but also visits to seasons 1 and 2. This day in 1977, the Fleetwood Mac classic Dreams was released. It went gold 6 months later for selling over 500,000 copies.
Well, who am I to keep you down?
And Oscar winner Jessica Chastain is 46 Friday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
456, 71 degrees.
New program is leading to some big changes for properties in San Antonio. Coming up, what they will face if they refuse to fix up their apartment complex.
The deadline approaching for the Cesar E. Chavez Legacy and Educational Foundation Scholarship still ahead of what a former recipient had to say about how it helped him.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide, looking over at I-35 at Rittiman where things are moving. And we didn't see any problems earlier. However, RJ Marcus is in the studio. We're going to be checking in with him after the break.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
No big changes this Friday morning. Muggy and mild, but based on what Justin is telling us, one of the best mornings of the month may be ahead this weekend. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, March 24th.
Happy Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. We're looking forward to the weather over the weekend as well.
Let's check in with meteorologist Justin Horn.
Hey, good morning to you guys. Yeah, you know, I would hope for a lot of rain out of this system. That would be great. It's just not going to pan out that way. We were thinking we'd get some showers and storms with this, and we still may get a few showers, but the big story is going to be the drier afternoon and the sun popping out. So let me first start with the setup and show you where that front is right now. It's just off to our west. It is generating some showers and storms off to our north and west, but that's where they stay. That's where we also have some severe weather. So if you go north of town, you will run into some stronger storms up around the Dallas area. But we're just catching the tail end of this thing. So as this front swings through, a couple showers around midday, and then we probably clear out. We will clear out with some sunny skies this afternoon. There's a look at the latest live radar. Any sort of significant activity is north of Junction, well out of our viewing area. So right now, just cloudy and humid here in San Antonio. We've got temperatures sitting at 71, dew point at 66. And south-southeasterly winds at around 10 miles per hour. Our KSAT 12-hour forecast, we keep it cloudy through the morning. You won't need a jacket today or anything like that as this front comes through. It does, again, generate a shower or two, maybe 10 a.m. to about noontime. And then we clear out, it becomes sunny. And look at the high temperatures today, up around 87. It's still warm despite the front. Now, we'll get a little bit cool tomorrow morning. We're expecting to see temperatures drop down into the 50s. Saturday will be beautiful. Really, really nice. We'll talk more about that weekend forecast here in just a bit. Let's get over to RJ now. We're keeping our fingers crossed for a good Friday morning commute.
Yeah, things looking good so far, Justin, this morning as people make their way out to the roadways. And actually, as we just talked about that, we do see a little bit of emergency vehicle here at I-35 at Rittiman. This just popped up on our screen right now, so we'll continue to follow the very latest there happening up in that area. But as we take a look at our citywide map here, we have a lot of green on the screen here this morning. Not too much going on right now when it comes to the city. Again, that'll be something that continue to kind of follow throughout the morning. That thing there going on at Rittiman Road does not seem to be causing any major traffic delays right now. So that is good news. Let's take a look at some overhead sign work that you need to be aware of. And this is going to be going on throughout pretty much the rest of this month. So something to keep in mind because this is during the day. Usually we do see some of this work being done overnight, but this is taking place during the day out there at Loop 410 West San Antonio here. And it's going to be a full closure of the northbound main lanes from State Highway 151 to West Military Drive. So just something to keep in caution if you're heading out later on this morning. But again, something to note this morning as we follow this accident here, or what's not an accident yet. We'll find out what this is. I-35 at Rittiman, see what exactly is going on there. Check in with TxDOT and TransGuide to see the very latest. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ. Crime Stoppers is asking for your help in finding two suspects involved in a murder on the city's northwest side. Now, San Antonio police say the two men on your screen are wanted for the murder of 50-year-old Kirk Dudley. This happened last month in the 3700 block of Fredericksburg Road around 8 p.m. And San Antonio police say that Dudley was standing in the parking lot there when the two men got out of a dark-colored GMC truck, walked up to him, and shot him. Both suspects ran away from that area. The driver of the truck drove off down Fredericksburg Road. Dudley died from his injuries several days later. If you have any information on the case, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is on your screen, 210-224-STOP.
Landlords who refuse to fix up their apartment complexes will now be on the hook for extra inspections.
City Hall reporter Garrett Beringer tells us about the case that led to this and the problems some worry could still happen to renters.
No housing, no peace.
Last summer, renters and activists made lots of noise about what they said were subpar conditions at Seven Oaks Apartments, like air conditioning issues, a lack of hot water, water damage, and roaches.
We stand together as one.
The focus on their problems led directly to a new proactive apartment inspection program, which the San Antonio City Council passed today.
Motion carries. All right.
We've come a long way, so I'm very proud of the fight.
Under the new program, 3 designated citations within a 6-month period will get a property labeled as a bad actor. They'll have to register with the city and get extra monthly inspections and pay for the privilege.
$100 per unit per year.
They can get out of it once they've gone 6 months with less than 3 citations and no outstanding issues. The city expects 15 to 20 properties will end up in the program each year, each averaging about 200 units. Some fear the cost to landlords will simply be passed on to renters, a fear the San Antonio Apartment Association didn't exactly squash.
Although we are not opposed to the proactive apartment inspection program, it's important to remember that every dollar that goes towards fees to operate programs like this undermine housing affordability and contribute to the increasing operating costs to maintain quality housing for our residents.
The program takes effect April 2nd. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Demonstrations took place across France Thursday over President Emmanuel Macron's decision to raise the retirement age in that country by 2 years. A group of protesters destroyed store windows, restaurants, and set street fires. Riot police moved in with tear gas and stun grenades. Some French gas stations are now running out of fuel due to workers at certain refineries also on strike. French unions have called for new nationwide strikes and protests next week, coinciding with King Charles's planned visit to France.
The U.S. has struck a deal with Canada regarding asylum seekers who are crossing the northern border. The change would restrict certain migrants from seeking protections in Canada. President Joe Biden and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau are expected to announce the agreement during President Biden's visit. According to officials, American authorities have started flying migrants from the Canadian border to Texas, where they will be processed. From there, they could be expelled to Mexico or to their home country.
The technology company Accenture is cutting thousands of jobs worldwide. They're planning to get rid of 19,000 jobs in its latest quarterly report to the Securities and Exchange Commission Thursday. Accenture reported in the filing that it plans to cut 2.5% of its workforce over the next year and a half. The company expects to spend $1.2 billion in severance payments.
Time now, 5:06 and 70 degrees right now.
Federal Trade Commission has announced a new rule coming up. How this will make it easier for consumers to cancel subscriptions and memberships.
And the deadline is approaching for the Cesar E. Chavez Legacy and Educational Foundation Scholarship. Coming up next, we're going to hear from a former recipient and how its students could potentially get towards their education.
And outside with live cam, we made it to Friday. Weather could be interesting tonight, and then we're looking at a pretty good weekend overall. We'll talk to Justin coming up.
Welcome back. It's 5:10. It's shaping up to be a good year for the Cesar E. Chavez Legacy and Educational Foundation. The March for Justice this weekend is expected to see another huge turnout.
And its scholarship fund will likely meet or exceed $50,000. KSAT's Jesse DeGollado caught up with a scholarship recipient who's now urging other pupils to apply before the March 31st deadline.
Hi everyone, my name is Marisol Cortez. I'm a junior at Bates College here in Lewiston, Maine.
Far from home in scenic New England, Marisol Cortez says Bates, the small liberal arts college, offers her the education she'll need to someday carry on Cesar Chavez's legacy.
Serving the community, going back to your community and luchando for your community, right?
By creating a center for her brother with autism and the special needs community in underserved areas of San Antonio.
They also have the right to be able to have access to adequate health care, therapy, and other social services.
A double major in biochemistry and Latin American studies, Cortez says after graduation next year, it's on to medical school to become a neurologist, a dream that began with the late labor leader Jaime Martinez, creating scholarships to honor his lifelong friend and mentor, Cesar Chavez, a household name in the Cortez home.
And my dad talked a lot about Cesar Chavez. He actually got to meet Cesar Chavez and got a flag signed.
A United Farm Workers flag that Cortez's father Armando still cherishes from his college days. The scholarship and the laptop that came with it, she says, are making it possible to realize her dream.
And so I've been able to learn a lot about myself, and I've also been able to grow a lot.
The same, she says, can await other students.
Getting these scholarships, applying for these scholarships are essential to carry out your sueños, right? Your career aspirations.
Jesse DeGollado, KSAT 12 News.
Wow, can you imagine going to college in Western Maine, one of the prettiest states in the union?
Very different weather from here.
Oh, no doubt about that. I'm sure it was culture shock for sure, and quite a change of scenery, but it looks like she's loving life. 512, 70 degrees.
Take a look outside with TransGuide looking at I-35 at Rittiman. Things are still moving. Good news for this Friday morning at 5:13, but later on we'll be checking back with our RJ Marcus.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser powers through tough messes.
So it makes it look like I spent hours cleaning. And no, I didn't.
It makes my running shoe look like new. It's amazing.
Wow. It makes it look like I don't have kids at all.
It's so good. It makes it look like I have magical powers.
With 80% less scrubbing, Mr. Clean Magic Eraser makes cleaning easy. Also available in sheets.
Think he's posting about all that ancient Roman coinage? No. He's making real-time money moves with Merrill. So no matter what the market's doing, he's ready. And that's how you collect coins.
Your money never stops working for you with Merrill, a Bank of America company.
Want luxury hair repair that doesn't cost $50? Pantene's Pro Vitamin Formula repairs hair, as well as the leading luxury bonding treatment for softness and resilience without the price tag. If you know it's Pantene.
In today's Tech Bites, a new proposal at the FTC would make it easier to cancel subscriptions. Under the rule, which is being dubbed the click-to-cancel rule, businesses would be required to allow customers to cancel subscriptions online if you subscribed on a website. Some companies currently require a phone call to cancel. The FTC will hear public comments on the rule before finalizing it. Some Twitter users are wondering if a change is coming. The company claims users' verified blue check marks will start to disappear on April 1st, unless they pay. But skeptics wonder if the date is laying the groundwork for an April Fool's joke. And United Airlines is now in a partnership to provide electric air taxi service from downtown Chicago to O'Hare Airport, cutting the trip from over an hour down to just 10 minutes. Service is set to begin in 2025. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
I know that kind of air taxi seems mind-boggling, but it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. It's going to become like sliced bread. No big deal.
I know.
One day.
Be weird, though.
Someday.
That'll help you get past some of the traffic troubles that sometimes
Right,
we see.
exactly. Yes,
hope
can
so.
get past some of those jams. Anything going on this morning, RJ?
Not too much, Mark. It's been a little bit quiet this morning. On your Fridays, people make it out to work and school this morning, so things looking pretty good. We saw that emergency vehicle earlier there on 35 at Rittiman. That just kind of drove through the area, so we're good to go in that area right now. So not too much taking place as we take a look at TransGuide real quick here. I-37. We saw there at Hot Wells, Loop 410 at FM 78. So traffic's starting to build up a little bit as people again make their way out on their Friday morning. And take a look at some of the traffic flow here in our maps. A lot of green here on our screen, so things looking good in that area as well. And we do know that things, of course, will start to get a little bit busier as we make our way through our Friday morning. So we do expect, especially some of our areas out there, Castroville, and of course, north of 1604, to kind of get a little bit busy as we make our way through. But one more quick look here at TransGuide traffic cameras, 281 at Grayson, things looking pretty good there. Traffic moving along pretty smoothly on your Friday. Justin, how are things looking outside?
It's nice right now, other than it's a little bit muggy. We had some clear skies last night, so you could see the moon and Venus. Peggy sent this in. You can see it right there. It's kind of small, but it is there. It was nice last night. Now, the clouds have rolled in. It's muggy right now, and I kind of have a beef with Mother Nature because every time these storm systems come through, I keep thinking we're going to get some decent rain out of it, and it doesn't materialize, and here we go again. Same situation again today. We've got some showers and storms along the frontal boundary out west. You can see some of the stronger storms now. Those white lines you see there are thunder, lightning and thunder. So we are seeing some lightning strikes as they move well to our north, but we're just not getting anything here locally. And we are on the tail end of this, so we probably get scraped with a couple of showers, and that's it. We're just not going to see too much out of it. A little closer look here around Rock Springs. There are a few showers for you, and a few showers may make their way down towards Del Rio here in the coming hours. By the way, if we get any showers here in San Antonio, it's probably going to be mid-morning to about lunchtime. Right now, it's just cloudy, 71. Dew point is at 66. We've got south-southeasterly winds at about 10. Here's the setup. That front moves east today, so we get a dry air moving in by the afternoon. This is at 5 o'clock later today. It dries out, sun's out. It'll be a nice afternoon, just a little bit warm. And then as you go east of here, as this storm system further develops, we're going to get some rowdy weather across parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas. That's where there could be a pretty significant severe weather outbreak today. So that's where all the action will be. And as we look at our forecast, I'm going to fast forward here to 10 a.m. Got a couple showers. That's it here on San Antonio. Maybe 10, 11, maybe midday, 12 o'clock. There could be a shower or two, and then it very quickly pushes east. Sky's clear, sun's out, and it'll be a warm afternoon. A really nice evening, though, and a really nice Saturday morning, because when you get the low humidity, you allow those temperatures to drop off nicely at night, and it feels pretty good. Speaking of those dew points, we've got dew points that are very high right now. They fall off a ledge with this frontal boundary. So we get dew points in the 30s and 20s by tonight and into Saturday morning. They start to climb a little bit as we get into Sunday, and I think by Sunday afternoon, humidity is back, and that sets us up for a few rain chances coming up next week. We do have to talk about the wind a little bit here, too, because as that front comes through, this is 3 o'clock this afternoon, we're going to get some gusts out of the west. We could see some gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour, especially as you get up into the hill country. And there is a little bit of a fire concern there. We've had some rain as of late, but with gusty winds and still some fairly dry conditions, we'll have to watch for that. Shouldn't be a big issue today, but something to keep in the back of your mind. So the KSAT 12-hour forecast, 69 at 7 o'clock, still cloudy, small rain chances. There could be a little bit of drizzle out there this morning. And then I'll bump it up to a 20% chance, 10, 11, 12 o'clock. But after that, rain chances go away and the sky becomes sunny. 86 at 3 o'clock, 87 4 p.m., 87 at 5 p.m. In the extended forecast, we'll go 83 Saturday, 83 on Sunday, but keep in mind we'll have some increase in humidity Sunday afternoon. And then next week we get a frontal boundary. There's still some questions as to exactly when it arrives, but I think sometime during the day on Monday. It cools us down some. And then as we get little disturbances working through behind that front, we'll have some small rain chances Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Nothing that looks like it's going to bring us a ton of rain, but there are some rain chances there. And as I said, I have a beef with Mother Nature because we need these storm systems to produce more rain than they're producing, and they're just not doing it.
Have you considered a strongly worded letter to someone?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
An email or something.
Gotcha. Ask Steph. She's real good at those letters. 522, 70 degrees.
Next, the latest in shows and movies to hit theaters, plus what actor Keanu Reeves is saying about John Wick Chapter 4 that hits theaters today.
Here are your lottery numbers. Pick 3070 Fireball 1. Daily 4 numbers 7215 Fireball 6.
Cash 5, 9, 16, 19, 28, 31. Texas 2-step 14, 15, 26, 34. Bonus ball 2. Good luck.
I'm going to need a gun.
Keanu Reeves used a lot more than firearms to kill people in the first 3 John Wick movies, and the body count gets even higher in John Wick Chapter 4. But he says one of his favorite scenes to perform was Murder by Library Book in John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum.
I thought the book and opening sequence in John Wick Chapter 3 was pretty great.
Agreed.
You know, the Boban fight was cool.
I think she just was a gospel single wrapped up in pop music.
Every fiber of her being was gospel.
It was the root of her soul, and she never let it go.
I Go to the Rock, the gospel music of Whitney Houston, explores the roots and the faith of the legendary performer. It's an album including previously unreleased songs dropping today, and a documentary special hosted by CeCe Winans, airing tonight on Up TV and Aspire TV, and available later on DVD. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Last night's Alamo Ranch neighborhood safety meeting held by Sheriff Javier Salazar had parents from NISD with many questions coming up. We're going to hear from the sheriff and what he had to say about the latest crime trend in the surrounding schools.
Outside with live cam, no rain to speak of, a ton of humidity, great shot of downtown, hovering right around 70 degrees at San Antonio International. And the pollen count remains full at last check. Good morning, everybody. We made it to Friday, the 24th.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. We'll check out that pollen count. How do you feel, though, as allergies go?
Not good overall. Yeah.
I felt it earlier this week. Yeah, I was definitely feeling it up in here. It was a mess.
Fall, I used to be a wreck in the fall with the mountain cedar. Now I can coast through that. I get to this time of year and I'm ready to move. And I know some people would like me to.
No.
Just kidding. No, not at all. No. The oak is awful. It just is. Everything's yellow and green, and we've got probably another month of it.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Okay.
Anyway, on a brighter note, let's talk about potential for some rain in some parts of Texas.
There is a chance. It's just not here, guys. We're seeing most of that rain staying well up to the north. And very quickly, by the way, there is the pollen count. Oak is at 2,430. Boo. Molds are at 1,700. They are also have been elevated, but that number comes down because we get some drier air this afternoon. So yes, we are in the thick of oak season. I mentioned some of the showers. We have a few around Rock Springs. Most of the action, though, is up across North Texas, where we've got some pretty big thunderstorms, in fact, and these are working their way up towards Dallas-Fort Worth. We're just not going to see much. This broken line, if you even want to call it that, works its way towards San Antonio mid-morning. By about lunchtime, and we may see a shower or two, and then it clears out. Right now, it's still pretty muggy out there. We've got mostly cloudy to cloudy skies. 71. Dew point is at 66 with a south-southeasterly wind at about 10. In your KSAT 12-hour forecast, 69 at 8 o'clock, 73 at 11 a.m., 10 to 11 noontime. That's when we've added in a 20% chance for shower, but it won't add up to much. 78 at noontime, 81 at 1 o'clock, and we'll top out at 87 by 4 p.m. And by this point, we will have some very low humidity around the area, which will lead to a beautiful Saturday morning. Let's get over to RJ now and check in on the traffic. Tell me everything looks good. It's Friday morning. It needs to be.
Yeah, everything looks good so far. Justin actually just got off the phone with TransGuide right now, just kind of checking in with them to see what was going on, and asked them, is there any issues right now on the roads? They said, absolutely not. Quote right there from TransGuide. So that's good news as people make their way out to school and work this morning. Right now would be a really good time because things are looking really smooth here. I-10 at the Y, things looking good. I-10 at Proban, traffic moving along very well in that area as well. Let's take a look at one more. I-35 at Pine. See, it looks like a San Antonio police officer maybe unfortunately pulling someone over there or responding to something. I-35 at Redmond, things looking good there in that area. Citywide map, again, a lot of green here, so traffic moving along pretty smooth in our area. We've been following a little bit this construction there on I-35 at Rittiman, and that was the reason I called TransGuide, because I kept on seeing these emergency vehicles kind of drive through the area. So they said it was construction. They say that things have cleared up, and based on our TransGuide traffic cameras, that seems to be the case as well. So this would be a good time, again, to get out. If you need to head out a little bit early, maybe grab some coffee or a little bit of breakfast before you make it to work or school. Burning to downtown right now, 24 minutes inbound traffic. Bulverde to downtown, 26 minutes, and New Braunfels to downtown, 25 minutes. So always like to see when those traffic times look pretty smooth headed into our area. One quick look here, 281 at Grayson. Things looking good there. 1604 at Kitty Hawk on the northeast side. Things looking good there as well. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ. A 20-year-old airman is facing a felony count of injury to a child. Universal City Police say Eric Espinosa Resendez was left alone with his 2-month-old infant last week. Days later, the child was in critical condition with symptoms consistent with shaken baby syndrome. Now, parents are urging families to come up with a plan when the stress becomes too much, like walking away or calling someone for help.
We want to acknowledge that parenting can be tough, and sometimes there's times where we're not sure what to do. But that's where, parenting education can be a great tool that we can have in our toolbox. So when those stressful situations come up.
We have some information on how you can reach agencies for family support on our website at KSAT.com.
Shootings over THC vape pens. That's the latest problem the Bexar County Sheriff is seeing at some area schools. It's something he addressed in last night's neighborhood safety meeting for the Alamo Ranch area on the far west side. Majority of parents in attendance have kids in NISD. They're concerned about what their kids are being exposed to while at class. The parents expressed the students are fighting and using vape pens on campus at an alarming rate. The sheriff says it's increasing violence in the area and leading to guns ending up on campus. He says he hopes the new school safety task force for NISD and Southwest ISD will help slow the crime rate.
President Joe Biden is in Ottawa making his first trip north of the U.S. border as Commander-in-Chief.
The president will meet with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and address the Canadian Parliament. CNN's John Lawrence has more.
President Biden and the First Lady on a whirlwind 24-hour trip to Canada, where White House officials say he will, quote, promote our shared security, shared prosperity, and shared values.
Canada, as you know, is not only a neighbor to the north, but a NATO ally, and the President and Prime Minister Trudeau have a terrific relationship.
Before Biden addresses the Canadian Parliament Friday afternoon, he and Justin Trudeau have a few issues to discuss.
Everything from NORAD and modernization of NORAD capabilities, as well as, of course, I think the military security and national security issues writ large, migration concerns, climate change. There'll be certainly issues of trade to discuss.
A Canadian official says Biden and Trudeau will also announce the updates they've made to the so-called Safe Third Country Agreement between Canada and the U.S. The agreement, signed in 2002, refers to migrants who pass through a country where asylum could have been claimed in order to enter a third country. The modifications are expected to change the way Canada accepts asylum seekers.
Canada's always willing to do more. We're a country that has been built, like the United States, on welcoming people from around the world. We just need to make sure we're doing it in responsible, proper ways to continue to have our citizens positive towards immigration, as Canadians always are.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Early voting is approaching, and on May 6th, San Antonio voters will not only vote for who they want to represent them on city council and in the mayor's seat, but also whether to amend the city's charter under a sweeping ballot proposition. If passed, San Antonio's Proposition A would decriminalize abortion and misdemeanor marijuana possession. It would also make some existing policies permanent. Head to KSAT.com to get the latest on the upcoming elections.
And ahead of the San Antonio Book Festival, the United Way SA will be accepting book donations now until April 20th. San Antonio personalities, athletes, and community leaders are teaming up with the United Way of San Antonio and Bexar County for this year's Read United. There will be a book drive to help share the importance of literacy with other children in our community. Books can be purchased through the United Way's Amazon gift list. You can find that by scanning the QR code on your screen.
Right now, 5:37, 70 degrees at San Antonio International.
Twitter is getting rid of its legacy blue badges soon. Next, what those who want to keep them can do.
Outside with live cam, there's some storms in some parts of Texas. It's raining up near places like San Angelo right now. Could we see any rain around here by this evening? Justin has details straight ahead.
Welcome back. It's 5:40 in your morning consumer headlines. Twitter is getting rid of its legacy blue badges next month. Starting April 1st, the social networking site says it will remove all of the verified checkmark statuses that were on the site before Elon Musk took over. Now, they say people and businesses who want to keep their check marks will have to subscribe to a Twitter Blue or Twitter Verified Organizations plan. Twitter first introduced the check marks in 2009 as a free way to identify which accounts were genuine and which were not.
Attention Hyundai and Kia owners. Both companies recalling more than 571,000 minivans and SUVs for a fire risk. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says their tow hitches can cause electrical shorts. The recall affects several models, including the Hyundai Santa Fe and the Kia Carnival. Owners are being asked to park them outside away from buildings until they're repaired. You can find a full list of affected vehicles right now on KSAT.com.
And Ford says it will lose $3 billion on sales of its electric vehicles to consumers this year. The electric vehicle losses and overall profit come before expenses from interest and taxes. During an investor conference on Thursday, Ford's chief financial officer said despite the loss, the company is confident it will still be able to hit its electric vehicles profit goal.
541, still 70 degrees.
Special decals for drivers with autism have stirred up some controversy. Coming up, what experts are encouraging for parents.
.544, new figures out this morning show more and more children here in the U.S. are being diagnosed with autism.
It comes as another state considers a way for people with autism to mark their vehicles on the road as a heads up to law enforcement. ABC's Andrea Fujii explains.
This morning, controversy over special decals for drivers with autism meant to help keep them safe. A bill proposed in Rhode Island would allow drivers on the autism spectrum to add the word autism to their license or their vehicle's license plate. The decals would be optional. The goal is to ensure a driver with autism is not deemed a threat if they're stopped by police. A nonverbal teen with autism testified in support of the bill.
The goal is to avoid misunderstandings between the officer and the driver.
But some people with autism oppose the idea. One critic saying it is literally labeling us and putting us into a box rather than uplifting and supporting us. Others support the bill's intention but say it goes too far.
If there's a subtle way to say there's somebody who has a different communication style, there's somebody who has specific medical needs, there's somebody who is medically fragile in the car, that is important information for them to have. But how do we do it discreetly so it's not screaming out to the whole world?
New figures out this week show the number of children with autism is rising. The CDC recently studied 8-year-olds across the country and found 1 in 36 of those children, or nearly 3%, was diagnosed with an autism spectrum disorder. Experts say the increase doesn't necessarily mean autism itself is a bigger problem. They say the increase is likely due to more children getting screened. As for the proposal in Rhode Island, if approved, the state would join Texas and Louisiana, which already have special license indicators for drivers with autism. Andrea Fuji, ABC News, New York.
And Fiesta is upon us, and KSAT is kicking it off with a KSAT Insider Contest. So KSAT insiders now have a chance to be a royal for a day. This will give you the opportunity to ride in the parade with their own court and get some extra prizes. We're going to have all that information on your screen right now, and you can head over to ksat.com for more.
Let's get more on the traffic situation this morning at 5:46.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Yeah, that reminds me of that, what was that Lord song? If I could be royal.
Oh, yeah, it's Lord. Yeah.
Okay, hey, you know what? That goes to show that there's not much going on with traffic this morning. I-35 at Pine, I'm thinking of Lord songs at the moment. So it's been a very quiet morning on the traffic front. This is good news. You know, it's been a very busy week. I know that Stephen Cavazza has been reporting a lot of major accidents taking place. So, you know what, we will take this right now. I-37 at Cesar Chavez, things looking pretty smooth there, and I-37 at Hot Wells, things looking good there as well. And again, look, hey, our maps are showing pretty good traffic flow throughout the entire San Antonio area. So this is good news as we continue to make our way through our Friday morning. So this also gives us an opportunity to look at some inbound times here. Seguin back here to downtown, half an hour drive commute into downtown. Lavernia to downtown, 33 minutes. And Floresville to downtown, a little bit less than half an hour at 28 minutes right now. So things looking pretty good in that area. One quick other look here at TransGuide traffic cameras. And guys, it's been a really, really good morning so far for traffic. I really kind of feel like a substitute teacher. Just kind of, you know, like, hey guys, here's the plan for today, and that's it.
And everybody's behaving.
Yes,
that's good.
Behaving on the roads.
For now.
Hopefully you'll get to coast today. So it has been challenging lately.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, RJ. Rain is falling in some parts of Texas right now. Just saw some video of rain showers up near San Angelo this morning.
Yeah, there have been some showers and storms up there, and as it has been what feels like the last 2 years, we're going to get just scraped by this storm system where we get a couple showers out of it, that's it. The bulk of the moisture, the bulk of the activity is going to be up there across North Texas, and that's the setup right now. We've got a front. Now, this is not a big cold front. This is not going to cool us down. It draws in drier air this afternoon, and that will be here by about lunchtime. But out ahead of this system, there is some severe weather, again, well to our north. There is really no threat of severe weather here, and that quickly scoots east. So by, say, 4 or 5 o'clock, all of that severe weather is pushing into parts of the southeast, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, places that will really be under the gun today. They are under a moderate risk for severe weather, meaning on a scale of 1 to 5, they're at about a 4. So this is going to be a pretty big outbreak, I think, later today. Again, not here. Let's look at the radar right now. And you notice that we've got nothing here around San Antonio. There are a few showers out west in places like Edwards County and down into Valverde County, but the bigger storms up there east of San Angelo. And we probably are just going to see a shower or two. Well, fast forward to 10 o'clock, Yeah, 1 or 2 showers here in Kendall County, some clouds still around San Antonio, and then the showers and rain moves east by 11, 12 o'clock. Then it clears out. Sun's out, humidity drops. Should be a really nice afternoon. Now, it's still going to be warm, but with the lower humidity, the evening will be really nice, and Saturday morning will be really nice as well. Let's go outside for you right now. It's still cloudy. We're right around 70 at all our reporting sites here in town. We're still looking at a southeasterly wind, which is still dragging in moisture, at least at the moment. 71 in New Braunfels, it's 69 in Fredericksburg, 71 Del Rio, 72 in Carrizo Springs, and right around 70 here in Bexar County as we sat. Dew point trend, very humid today. By noontime, dew point starts to fall off, and by this afternoon, we're in the low 30s and dew points in the 20s to start Saturday. Humidity does start to build, but it takes until Sunday afternoon for us to feel the humidity again. So we'll get a reprieve here for a couple of days. We'll also get some gusty winds this afternoon. This is 3 o'clock later today, and this does show some gusts out of the west and northwest, anywhere from 25 to 30 miles per hour. So it will be a little bit breezy during the afternoon hours. I think by this evening and tonight, those winds will die down. So let's look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, hour by hour here. 9 o'clock. Just a 10% chance, rain 70 degrees. Noontime, skies are clearing. There is still a small chance of a shower, 78. And then by 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, we are warming up. Front comes through, but temperatures will still be awful warm as that dry air settles in. 87, the forecast high this afternoon. In the extended forecast, we're going to go 83 tomorrow, low humidity, but look at the morning low. 50 tomorrow morning. That's going to feel really good. 83 Sunday. Humidity begins to increase. 77 on Monday. Our next front comes through, and then we start to see some disturbances rolling through after that. So that brings some small rain chances each and every day next week. It's hard to kind of pinpoint which day that will be, but I think there are some opportunities there to see at least some light rain. And notice temperatures fall back down into the 70s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So hopefully we'll get something next week, because it does not look like we're going to get much out of the system today.
I know, and I thought we would by Friday, but
we were really hoping that we at least get some thunderstorms, but we need a storm system to move a little bit further south, give us a little more energy where we are. Everything just kind of keeps messing us to the north.
All right, next time.
Next time.
Thank you, Justin.
552, 70 degrees.
Six Flags has some announcements. Next, we're going to tell you what they're adding to their amusement park here in San Antonio.
And once again, your lottery numbers. You may have them memorized by now. Pick 3 numbers, 070 Fireball 1. Daily 4 number, 7215 Fireball 6.
I don't have them memorized. I have to look at the screen.
We'll show them again later.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cash 5, 9, 16, 19, 28, 31. Your text is 2, stop 14, 15, 26, 34. Bonus ball 2. Good luck.
If you win, the table will honor its word.
John Wick Chapter 4 officially opens today. Keanu Reeves is back as the master assassin, taking on the mysterious High Table. Pundits say it could open with a franchise record $70 million.
I want my life back. I want my child back.
Florence Pugh and Morgan Freeman star in the drama A Good Person, Zach Braff's third big screen directorial effort.
I know I can find him.
And Sally Hawkins stars in The Lost King, based on the true story of the successful search for King Richard III's remains.
Man, look around. We got everything we need right here.
The Netflix teen drama Outer Banks tops the most recent Nielsen streaming top 10. That's counting not only views of season 3, which dropped 3 weeks ago, but also visits to seasons 1 and 2. This day in 1977, the Fleetwood Mac classic Dreams was released. It went gold 6 months later for selling over 500,000 copies.
Well, who am I to keep you down?
And Oscar winner Jessica Chastain is 46 Friday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
Happy birthday, Jessica. Well, 6 new attractions are headed to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas this year at the Hurricane Harbor Water Park. Hurricane Harbor is set to open April 29th with new double-decker cabanas, more picnic tables, and luxury lounge chairs. Water Park will have 6 new family-friendly water slides called Rip Curl, Vortex, Stingray Racer, Bonsai Pipeline, Cowabunga, and Wipeout. These were made for this park, right? Six Flags said it's part of a rebranding of their water park. To read more about the new rides and entertainment out there, go to KSAT.com. 5:57, 70 degrees on your Friday morning. Glad you're with us. RJ handling traffic duties this morning, and so far so good. Not dealing with rain on the roads or any accidents so far. Cross your fingers. We'll see how things are looking coming up in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Also, you're going to want your Friday and your weekend forecast. We've got a picture perfect day coming up. Which one this weekend? Justin will tell you coming up.